think we're the group. And everybody who's at home, whoever they are.
Oh, God, to find it. Oh, yeah. Send it to me.
Welcome, everyone. Beautiful day in Western Michigan.
Yeah, that's the one first bell. Oh, that's. Well, listen, we're going to the Bible study.
Yeah, I want to.
We'll look at this afterwards.
That's why I'm here.
See it afterwards. Okay.
Well, let me ask you, welcome. Let me ask you this. Have you ever traveled anywhere? Are you travelers?
I used to be.
Where have you gone?
I've been to Europe a couple of times.
Yeah? Where in Europe? Spain?
Spain. I spent a summer in Sweden.
You did?
Yeah.
With Swedes?
I lived with two families, one in the south and one in the north.
Uh-huh.
So I've been to London
Uh-huh.
and into the countryside. So I've been to eastern France around Strasbourg
Oh. Uh-huh.
and Germany. I was in Germany for summer.
Okay. You ever been to the Netherlands?
No.
No, it shows.
No, I wouldn't.
Anybody else?
Oh, I've traveled.
Okay.
I went to Italy 32 times.
Wow.
You went to Italy 32 times?
I go every year.
32 times.
32 times. I've seen,
Where in Italy?
well, I end up always my last week at where my father was from on the Amalfi Coast. But I've been to all the major cities around Italy. I've been to Puglia, I've been to Avellino, I've been just about everywhere. But that, I didn't even touch it. Because when I got a book recently, Travel to Italy, I saw 80 places at least I haven't seen yet, but all the famous ones I've seen.
Uh-huh.
My first year, 1958, I went with a friend and did all of Europe in 11 weeks.
11 weeks.
Cost me $2,000. I can't believe it. And I brought back a duffel bag full of gifts for that $2,000. Could you believe that?
I do believe it.
I can't.
Anybody else travel a little bit?
Norway, Sweden, Denmark,
Oh, I
Ireland,
always want-
Yeah?
Okinawa. That was a biggie.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Been all over.
Spain
Spain?
I have to read my books.
and Puerto Rico and Portola.
Port-
British West Indies.
Uh-huh.
British.
Yeah, Tortola.
British.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, I love London.
Uh-huh. Sandy, have you traveled?
I'm a fighter compared to these people, but I've been to England, Scotland, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland,
Those cities.
Uh-huh.
Denmark, Sweden,
Denmark, Sweden.
and, I've been a couple of times to those,
Yeah, no, uh-huh.
but I haven't gone on the continent at all.
Uh-huh. Well, I've been to Muskegon and Shelby and Pentwater, Michigan. I went to Ludington, Michigan once for a football game back when I was a sophomore. And Toledo.
What's Toledo?
It's Ohio. It's home of the Mud Hens.
Mud?
The University of Toledo Mud Hens. Yeah.
Oh.
I was just going to tell you that I've been to Mississippi and Florida and St. John once. So, well, I really,
You went to good places.
but that's it.
Yeah. Well, Mississippi is
That's another country.
it's another country.
I used to go to Tennessee.
Y'all. Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I've been there
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Florida. And I've seen in California.
Yeah.
And I went to some of the national parks.
Yeah. Nice.
And this country is so beautiful.
It's incredible.
I keep telling my daughter, stop going to Europe with the kids. Take them to see their country first.
Well, if you check out cabin prices and second home prices in the Catskills in New York, people are staying. They are staying. They're not going. They're not going overseas. because there are more $1 million houses out there than you can shake a stick at. I mean, it's amazing how it's changed.
I started a camp for girls out in Monticello.
You did, because that's where our cabin is, just down the street from
So
Monticello.
pretty there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You know where Cutcher's was?
Sorry?
Cutcher's, that was the name of the hotel, it was famous.
No, we haven't been out
And he
there
got
yet.
he used to have such a large auditorium, and he was interested in sports and music. What could be better than that?
Yeah.
And so he always had stars, like I met Dr. J, and I
Oh.
met, I don't know how many of them.
Well, let me just ask you, how many stories from your travels, how many stories could you tell?
A lot.
Oh, can she tell stories?
You just mentioned it like that, I have a story.
That's right. How about the rest of you?
Yeah.
A lot of stories. From your travels, could you tell 25 stories?
Like what kind of story?
Any. This is what happened when I was on my trip. I met this person. You know, there was a cat that kept following me around for a few days. Any kind of like travel stories, travel writing. Do you read travel writing?
Yes.
The Bible is a book of travel writing.
It is.
No. I watch a lot of those travel shows, Rick Steves.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
It's very good.
I'll just say it again. The Bible is a travel book.
Well, he should travel, let me tell you.
Everyone does. Everyone does.
That's the
And
only way they could get around in those days.
well, or you stay home.
Yeah.
Right? Those are your two choices. There is a rhythm in the Bible with travel and being rooted. Travel and being rooted. I'm going to take you to a land of milk and honey. You know that phrase? That's a common phrase in the Bible, in the Old Testament. Yeah. God promises Abraham and others, I'm going to bring you to a place flowing with milk and honey. And almost every time, once the people of God get to the land of milk and honey, things are horrible.
It's like everything, when you think the grass is greener, it's not.
So when you travel, you probably are a very independent traveler. You
Yeah.
go off in
Yeah, I don't go through the
places
book.
that
Yeah.
nobody.
I go get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That makes for very interesting.
I just walk, you know. I walk cities. Walk them. I never go on a bus. I mean, I don't like buses anyway. They make me sick. But I walk cities. Every city that I've been in, I walk it. I mean, walk it. Like walk 10 to 14 hours. Walk. And the next day I do it again. I have a little technique to do that.
You have to have good walking shoes.
Yeah, you do. So here we are, and I'm mentioning all this because not always, but more often than not, our best stories are when we're moving.
It's true. Otherwise, you don't have a story.
Yeah, you're, and by the way, I'm not disparaging being rooted. I'm not. But the best stories typically for us, for a person, have to do with when we're moving. Either moving here or this way. When you're moving. Yeah, moving. The word education, I've said this a million times, it's educare, it's Latin, educare. It means to be moved from here to there. So if you're a teacher, and I know several of you are, if you're successful as a teacher, you've taken this group of students or a student, and you take them day one over here. This is where they are. By the time you're done with them, they're over there. Right? Isn't that kind of the idea? And in order to do that, you have to move. And you have to be willing to move. You have to be willing to set aside, at least, what you know. Right? If you go to Italy or if you go to Mississippi you got to set aside what you know in order to take in a new experience, new information, new everything else. That's what the Bible is. It's a book of movement. You can see it that way. There are other ways to see it too, of course. But that's one way to see the Bible. It's a book of movement. And when the people of God stop moving, it doesn't go well.
When they stop moving?
When they stop moving, when they get to Jerusalem, for instance, and they create this, this state, it almost always goes poorly. Why is that? Why does that happen? Huh?
Expectations aren't met.
Expectations aren't met.
Expect it to be wonderful, and it's not as wonderful. Maybe it is better, but it's not as wonderful as they expected.
Well, it is in Pentwater, Michigan. It's fantastic. Although the pizza's not that great. That's where my mother grew up, Pentwater.
Where did she grow up?
Pentwater, Michigan.
Pentwater?
Pentwater, Michigan with rats in her hair. Yeah, it's a whole nother story.
Another story.
Yeah, she didn't have a silver spoon. Anywhere. So, yeah, when you get settled and rooted, your expectations will not be met usually or often. Like it can be good, but it's like, oh, but there's this. What else can happen when you're rooted? Why does it go sour when you're rooted?
So you become bored, and it's very stagnant. And you're not. I guess you like to use this term a lot. You're not really growing. You're not learning anything.
That's true.
You're not seeing any new scenery. It's just your life is very flat.
Flat. Okay. All right. Okay. Like that. It's not interesting.
No, it's boring. I was home for 1 week. I was going out of my mind. I said, my mom,
Like I got to get out of here.
I gotta get out of this house. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But my daughter doesn't agree. Now she doesn't want me to move. She
Right.
wants people with
Yeah, she doesn't want that to happen.
No.
No movement. You could break your hip.
drive me nuts.
Right. Yeah. So then what do you get? What's possible on the plus side?
You meet
When you travel, when you move?
You're educated because you see there are all different people who live different lives, and they're just as happy or sad as you are.
Mm-hmm. So you meet people.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
most important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, anyway.
Yeah. So, and that's going to impact you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope.
Anybody else? What about the idea of trust when you're traveling? Does your level of trust have to go up?
Well, I think nowadays you have to be a little more careful.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the past, like when we went first time in 1958, I didn't think about anybody not being honest or anything.
Did you fly your own plane?
Did I want?
Fly your own plane?
Lucky I had enough money to go. I had to borrow.
So somebody else had to fly the plane.
It was what the heck did they call that in the Second World War plane? And he said at one point,
A C-130?
no, it was a Tiger something. Oh, I can't, it'll come to me. But I remember him saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get wherever you're going, you will have to go back to your seats because you're all gabbing in the back of the plane and we're going higher and higher.
Well, he wasn't referring to you, Grace.
No, not
No, you were, no. No, when you walk onto a plane, unless you're flying it yourself, you have to trust the pilot, you have to trust the plane, you have to trust the ground crew, and you haven't even left the tarmac yet, right?
It's air traffic controllers.
Air traffic controllers, do we still have those?
Horrible job.
No, they just kind of say, do your thing, Yeah, nobody's working in government, it seems. Yeah, the level of trust that one needs while traveling seems like it's a lot higher than if you're home.
Oh, sure.
Something like that. The first time I was in Amsterdam, it was in the middle of the night. We came by train from Dusseldorf, or Frankfurt, I guess, because the flight was cheaper. So we flew in. I finally figured out how to use a phone at Central Station, Amsterdam Central Station. Got on the phone finally with my supervisor, Garrett Edwards. The first thing out of his mouth was, "For God's sake, hang on to your wallet."
Oh, yeah.
Very first sentence. Not, "Hi, how are you? Welcome to Amsterdam." That's what he said. So, it does this, right? It does this. You're more on high alert. So let's talk about trust and faith. Is there the possibility that one's faith in God goes up when you're traveling?
Yes.
I think that's true. And that's this thing. That's this thing. It goes back and forth. I mean, when you're gone for a long time, it feels good to go home, right? For most of us, it feels good to go home, even though you might want to turn around and get out of there again. But to have a touchstone, to have something familiar, we like sitting in the same pews, right? Typically, right? I know I do. I feel better up here than out here. But you see what I mean? We like sameness and things we can count on too. But there is a different experience between traveling and staying home. Trust, faith. If you've ever taken a walk at night in a city, our level of awareness goes up. If I'm fishing in a strange stream where I don't know where the rocks are.
They have very good fishing in Norway.
Yes, they do. Salmon fishing.
I just saw that.
Did you do it?
I saw a show last night.
Yeah.
People of the North.
Yeah.
And
And they're spay casters. They cast like that, right? Not like that.
You're an avid fisher.
I used to be. I hope to be again.
Good.
So this is all kind of prelude stuff to this. And the book of Acts is all about movement. People are traveling. Who travels? Yeah, the apostles. They travel. St. Paul, he takes 3 missionary journeys around the horn of the northern side of the Mediterranean. Jesus, he doesn't even have a house. He doesn't even have a home, does he?
But he only traveled 33 miles?
Ish, yeah, ish.
It was all by foot.
It's all by foot.
That's a lot.
But he's walking, right? He's just walking around. He's got no home. I mean, he's got parents and brothers and sisters back in Nazareth, but that he visits from time to time, but not very often. He's just walking. How does that work? Huh?
They have great walking shoes.
No.
Sandals.
Sandals. They're walking around in sandals. I mean, it's a weird, when you start thinking about it, the whole story is pretty weird. And what about Peter? We're gonna meet him today with Cornelius, and he's moving around too, and he bumps into this person that we'll meet today by the name of Cornelius. He is a Roman centurion. That's who he meets. He's not Jewish. He's bumping into, right? Because you do. When you're traveling, you bump into people, right? And Paul is bumping into people. Jesus bumps into people. Peter's bumping into people.
You have discussions.
Right. When I was at the English Reformed Church, the ERC we call it, we'd have a coffee hour after every service. Their hall, their social hall, was down the street like 4 blocks. So everybody had to walk after service down the street and go up to their fellowship hall. And they do it every week. And all you had to do was ask, how'd you get here? How did you get to Amsterdam? Because there's 45 nationalities. There's just one story after the next, after the next, after the next. People you've never met, probably will never see again, right? You just have these little touchstones. And that's the Bible, especially in the book of Acts. You've got people moving around, bumping into people, having these discussions, and it's incredible. And Jesus was doing it too, of course, just bumping into people, the wrong people, poor people. You know, he's bumping into people with leprosy. He's bumping into, people with, dubious backgrounds. But it's a travel story. It's a travel story. And I would say you don't have to always just get up and physically move either. You can go to a place like Pine Rest Christian Hospital. You'll be doing some traveling there, and it's a locked unit, if you know what I mean. You're just going to meet people that have experienced incredible things that you've never, ever even thought about. Patients that we had, kids on our unit. And you're going to do some traveling, and so will they, but we're bumping into each other. We don't know each other. We're strangers. Or you can go to a place like seminary and do that too, do a lot of traveling in here and a little bit in here. Or you can be in a church every week and maybe do a little traveling too over time. So, but the point is, you got to move.
Absolutely.
You have to move. That is one of the basic messages of the Bible. You have to move. So when John the Baptist, what his basic message was, one word: repent. Change your mind and change the direction of your life. Same thing, movement. Go that way. Don't go that way anymore. Go that way. Yeah, see, it's over and over and over. When God first comes to Abraham, what does he do? He and Abram and Sarai are in Ur of the Chaldees. They're retired. What does God say to him? Go. Get going. I mean, this is a couple that are in their, 80s? Go. And they do. They do. It's an incredible story. They go. It goes on and on and on like that. It's something to seriously consider, is movement. Movement is almost always tied to faith. Almost always, in the Bible, for sure. So, how about that? Okay. Is that about right? Is that about right? So, and watch it. And the alternative to this too is watch it a little bit. If your life is a little bit too rote, if there's not a lot of movement, I mean, if you're fishing, for instance, you want to fish on a stream that's moving. You don't want to be in a pond that's sedentary. That's not the place to find fish usually. Because it gets what? If water's not moving anywhere, what happens to it?
It's stagnant.
Sorry?
Stagnant.
Stagnant, right. It becomes stagnant. Yeah. And people are like that too. So you want to meet these two people? Peter and Cornelius?
Yeah.
See the meeting? Okay, it's in Acts chapter 10. We're doing just fine. So, who is Peter? I mean, who is he?
He's a fisherman.
He's a fisherman. Right. What else do we know about him?
I think he was the first one to Christ.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. First one out of the gate.
Right.
He says yes. What else do we know about him? So he's following Jesus around for 3 years? Is that right?
Yeah.
And he denied knowing Jesus in the end.
Denied knowing Jesus in the end?
He was afraid.
He was questioned at night. I never knew him. Mm-hmm. Anything else that we know about him?
He supposedly has the keys to heaven.
Right. Keys to the Kingdom. Yeah.
Keys to the Kingdom, that was a good movie.
Well, it's probably about Peter.
Did you see
Well,
that?
Gregory Peck is fantastic, as you know. And as good as Vivian Lee. But I'm just making stuff up. Think about my parents. Yeah, so he is almost always the first one to say something. He usually has a sandal in his mouth as a result of it. He puts his foot in his mouth all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's very excitable, forthright, and then he usually makes mistakes. That kind of a person. We got him lined up. The Catholic tradition will say he's one of the first martyrs, that he was crucified in Rome upside down. Yeah, because he didn't want to emulate his Lord and Savior. So, yeah, so upside down. Did you know all this? Do you know this stuff? Okay. So that's Peter. He is going to take off and go on a trip.
And didn't he get his brothers, some of his brothers to join him? Am I wrong?
I don't know about this trip. I don't know about this one. I don't know. That's a good question. So what do we know about Cornelius? Just if we say that, just in saying that he's a Roman centurion, what are we saying about him? What do we know about him? Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, what's it like to be a centurion?
Is that the general centurion?
No, it's just a soldier, a Roman soldier. You think he's a pretty tough guy?
Probably. Brave.
Brave.
Is he the one that had a daughter that was near death?
That's another one, I think. That's another one. I think so. Well, we'll see. He probably is pretty good with a sword. He probably has been involved in battle.
Probably strong.
Probably really strong. He has a tattoo on his arm that says Semper Fi.
Oh, he was a Marine.
He's like a Marine of the day. Semper Fi. Semper Fidelis. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of a person.
Wow.
Tough. Principled.
I think
Loyal.
more principled than tough.
Yeah, principled, follows orders. Has a pretty firm grasp on a worldview. This is how things work. This is what people are like. This is what power is like. He knows what it's like to be in charge. He knows what it's like to have power over people. Right? You don't mess with the Romans. Yeah, these are serious people, and the Romans, are business people. That's really they're very similar to the United States in some ways. It's about business. We've got a little democracy over here on the side, but we're about business, right? That's America too, I think.
Yes.
I think that's a fair description of America, is we know business and we are a democracy. That's what we do. That's Rome. And also, Rome does not like change. They they put their roads down, and this is how we're gonna do business. And they're pretty strict about that. As far as like the arts and things like that, they just borrowed from Greece. So they stole a lot of ideas from Greece because we don't have time, to make up our own stuff. So they borrow ideas from ancient Greece. So does that round him out a little bit? Okay. He's certainly not from there. He's not from the Middle East, probably. He's from somewhere else. Okay, 10. Acts 10, verse 1. Somebody want to read through 8? Just get to know this person a little bit. No, great. You go ahead,
Okay,
Karen.
number, chapter 10.
Yep.
Peter and Cornelius. In Caesarea, there was a man named Cornelius, a centurion of the Italian cohort, as it was called. He was a devout man who feared God with all his household. He gave alms generously to the people and prayed constantly to God. One afternoon, at about 3 o'clock, he had a vision in which he clearly saw an angel of God coming in and saying to him, "Cornelius." He stared at him in terror and said, "What is it, Lord?" He answered, "Your prayers and your alms have ascended as a memorial before God. Now send men to Joppa for a certain Simon who is called Peter. He is lodging with Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside." When the angel who spoke to him had left, he called 2 of his slaves and a devout soldier from the ranks of those who served him. And after telling them everything, he sent them to Joppa.
Okay. So now what do we know? We know a little bit more about Cornelius. Where's he live? Where is he staying right now? Caesarea Philippi, right? Does that sound a lot like Caesar? Caesarea? Yeah, it's a Roman enclave. They had those there in the Middle East, where he didn't really mingle with, the locals. So you have your own place where the soldiers would be. And it would be a Roman style village or town. So that's where he is. And what's his rank? Do we know?
Was it devout?
Yeah. Yeah, does he have a kind of a rank? Maybe he can't come up with the actual name, but is he at the bottom of the
No,
barrel? Or?
he gives orders.
He gives orders. Yeah.
What is cohort of the Italian cohort?
Well, they're Italian Roman soldiers from Italy who together are in Joppa or in Caesarea. They might be from the same region in Italy. What is now Italy?
I'm curious, if he's Roman, I didn't know that they believed in God. Didn't they have-
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Yeah, there's a lot of gods out there and a lot of religion floating
It
around.
looks like he's believing in our God.
Yeah, is that interesting? So what is he doing? What is he doing for you to say that?
He's all the time.
He's praying all the time. Gives alms.
generously.
I gotta get
And his whole household
his whole household is
is doing the same.
doing the same. So he's part of a don't tell. I can't do that. I'm stealing your stuff. These notes here. The Lord has need of it. Yeah, so he's practicing. He's a practicing believer. What, is that right? Is it?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it. I don't think the Bible's trying to fool us.
But he's not Jewish.
Not Jewish.
So he must have heard Jesus.
The poor, yeah.
But he sees,
Yeah.
they just pass the right way people then.
Or they might have a little treasury for the poor or something. He participates. Good guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy.
So he must have come across Jesus' teaching.
Maybe, doesn't say, but he's got kind of a religious rhythm to him. He's a devout, serious person. Runs his household like that. Probably runs his soldiers like that. But he's never met God in his life. I mean, here's the irony. There's the irony. He's doing all the religious stuff right, I would say. He's praying, he's giving alms. I mean, he's a good person, right?
Just a good person.
But he's never met God in his life. Isn't that odd? And there's a lot. Don't you think that's odd?
Not for some people.
Well, I think for most people, and I wonder about myself, for that matter, is you can do all of the practices of religion and do it honestly and be forthright about it, and still you haven't had an encounter yet. Don't you find that odd? I just find that odd. It happens all the time in the Bible, where people are good people. They're religious. They're righteous. They do the right thing. They're terrific. But they have never had any kind of epiphanatic experience in their life, ever. Epiphanatics, not that, right? Epiphany, like an epiphany.
We've talked before about the Holy Spirit, and who do we believe has that?
Right.
I mean, that sounds like a person who has that Holy Spirit within them, and he doesn't know where it came from, but God has chosen him probably for that.
No question about it. For this meeting. Yeah.
I mean, it was meant to be that way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's like a calling.
Yeah.
Like this is your moment on stage, right? This stage of history or the story of faith or something. Get on it, right?
Something important for him to do.
Yeah.
Move forward.
Yeah, to move forward, right? And the story is gonna move forward because of him and Peter.
He didn't go with the men.
Right, he says,
So
Yeah.
I
Right?
don't, why wasn't he with them?
Yeah,
When he
right,
sent them off?
right, good question. I mean, you have a meeting? It's more important, that's more important than this?
Yeah.
But you just talk to an angel and, okay, guys, you just,
You talk to an angel and they tell you things, but you send somebody.
somebody else.
But the angel told him to.
The angel did tell him to do that, but I wouldn't do that, I'd be gone,
Yeah,
right? I'd be gone,
exactly.
right? Yeah, it's weird.
What I'm not understanding is, I thought that the Romans didn't like it when people prayed to God as opposed to their pagans, their gods.
Right. Yeah, absolutely right. The power structure didn't like it
Right.
because it shakes up business.
Sounds.
Business does not like
Competition.
competition. And the early church, and it's really early here, really very, very, very early. It's just forming. They do not like that at all because they want to keep that economic machine moving, right? Churning. And the power structure to be solid. Just like us, we're doing the same thing, right? Most countries have done the same thing if they can. You send a aircraft carrier and sort it out. That kind of thing. We do, all powerful countries throughout history act the same or nearly the same. Anyway, but there are individuals within that structure that have a different experience than the gods, the approved list of gods. They go a little bit different.
Do they have to keep it under wraps?
Probably. Remember the story of Naaman and the prophet as in the Old Testament? Naaman had leprosy and he's not Jewish, but he finds out that there's a prophet that will heal him. And he goes to the prophet and gets healed. And then he says to the prophet, you mind if I take some, do you guys know this story? He goes to the prophet and says, do you mind if I take a couple of bags of sand from here so I can put it in my backyard and I will pray to Yahweh back there. On the other days, I'll be kneeling next to the emperor, because he's, the head of the army, and praying to the other gods, would you forgive that? Because I really want to do that. So, yeah. I mean, I'm a part of a denomination, the Reformed Church in America, that is filled with Christian nationalists. I don't pray to that God.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't pray to that God.
Most churches have a lot of them in their congregations, I think.
Yeah, but the people with a sword over my neck are Christian nationalists. Wasn't always that way. I mean, it wasn't that way for years and years, but it's become that. So I say to them, well, have at it,
Say that.
right? Have at it.
I think it has.
What's that?
I said, I can't say that it wasn't always that way, because it seems like it was always that way.
No, the Reformed Church I was thrilled to be a Reformed Church minister when I started. Thrilled. I thought they were on the right track.
I'm talking about the Christian national kind of.
Yeah, Christian nationalists are basically, KKK without the hood.
Right,
That's what I see. So, that's a little harsh, isn't it?
I don't know why they think they're
So
Christian.
all these conservative Bible programs, because I listen to the Bridge a lot, are they considered to be Christian nationalists?
Yeah, I would say they all are. Or nearly all. Yes. You wed that flag with that one. That's why I have a problem with the American flag in a sanctuary. Don't make a big deal of it, but I would not have that in this sanctuary, even though I'm absolutely I don't know if I'm a patriot, but I'm very patriotic and come from a very, very patriotic home. So, but I still wouldn't have that in here.
You wouldn't.
I would not have of any nation, any national church flag in a sanctuary.
Well, that would be.
We're bigger than that.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my own personal.
I agree.
I don't make a big deal of it. If I had my druthers, that would not be in the sanctuary. Anyway.
Take it out.
No, it's not my business to do that. I think a lot of people want the American flag, or any flag. I mean, I've gone to other countries and they have their flag, And I think it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of duty, a sign of love for your country. And all that is very good. I think it's very good, but it doesn't belong in here.
I agree.
So, yeah, I would, for a just cause, I would put my life on the line for the country. How about you? For the Constitution? Yeah, I would. For sure. I would stand up and do it. Anyway, so this is what we know about Cornelius. So he does act enough,
Nice guy.
right? He sends somebody. A couple. I don't know who these guys are. Or, I mean, that's a weird place to be in too, right? Like, what's the boss? What? We're going to go see somebody in Joppa he's on a beach somewhere? The whole thing is strange. So, all right, that's one vision. Well, we got a little time here. That's one vision for Cornelius. But as we've seen with St. Paul, there needs to be another vision over here to make it work. Right? Remember when St. Paul has his vision, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? It's Jesus who you're persecuting. The other guy has to have a vision too. Like there's this guy that's coming, St. Paul. Have you heard of him? And you're going to take him into your house, and he's blind and he hasn't been eating. So you're going to offer this person who is going to kill you into your house, and you're going to give him hospitality. See, there's two visions are at work, and that's often the case, it seems to me, in the Bible, where there are two that are needed. Because Cornelius is going to send his boys to Joppa to look for Peter, and when they get there, Peter's going to say, well, what's that got to do with the price of eggs?
Yeah.
Right? He needs a vision too, which I think is really kind of beautiful. Don't you? It's beautiful. It takes a covenant to make it work. Yeah. If you are on the move from Venezuela or Colombia, you have a vision, right, to come to America. It happens millions of times, right? This happened millions of times. They get a vision, just like they did from Ireland or wherever. China or Japan, Vietnam, everybody gets a vision, right? We got to get up and go to America. Fine, there's your vision. The other group has to have a vision too, and that's what we don't have. As a country, I mean, there are people, groups within America that do, but it's the country hasn't gotten that vision yet. And I actually looked up the poem on the Statue of Liberty. Have you looked at that lately? Do you know the one that we had to memorize when we were in school? That one?
Your tired,
Well, it makes you weep. I mean, you just want to weep. You read that. What's it? The Colossus, the new Colossus, or something like that. Something like that. It's a counterweight. That poem is a counterweight to all the other countries who all say no. They say no.
Now we're joining them.
Yeah, we are. We certainly have, officially as a country, legally as a country. We don't want you. It's the exact opposite. If you read that poem, it's just remarkable. And it's unbelievable, that poem. There's nothing official about it. It's not law. It's not settled law or anything like that. It's a vision. It's a vision for what could.
It's a good vision.
For us, it was our vision to receive them who had their vision. It's really interesting. Yeah, really, really interesting what's going on in the country. Sad too, but kind of hopeful too. Sometimes you got to go through stuff like this
You
to.
don't have hope.
Well, sometimes you got to go through stuff like this to kind of get a little
Well, I figured
clearer
God's
vision.
giving us a message.
Yeah, well,
That's how I look at it.
yeah.
But I
It's
know we're going to come through.
I hope so. It's worth doing, I think, the whole idea. What is a human being, and what is hospitality? What does it mean to be a citizen? These are, I think, really important.
And it's waking
matters.
up the young people, which I think
Yeah.
they needed to be waking.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll close with Peter's vision. So we got Cornelius's vision. Now we're going to get Peter's vision. That's 9 through 16.
I just lost my page. Oh, no, here.
About noon the next day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the roof to pray. He became hungry and wanted something to eat. And while it was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the heaven opened and something like a large sheet coming down, being lowered to the ground by its four corners. In it were all kinds of four-footed creatures, reptiles, and birds of the air. Then he heard a voice saying, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is profane or unclean." The voice said to him again, a second time, "What God has made clean, you must not call profane." This happened 3 times, and the thing was suddenly taken up to heaven.
Oh, okay.
So Peter didn't follow orders.
No, maybe, did he think it was a test?
Well, would you want to use snake?
These are, the things that were presented to him
We're not kosher.
were not kosher.
Oh, I see.
There are, Jewish dietary laws have been in effect now for a long time, centuries and centuries and centuries. No shellfish is a big no-no. No pork.
Has to be orthodox.
Hoofed animals.
No cloven-hoofed animals. My mother's Simply Do party-fried meatballs. No way.
No pork.
You don't mix
Dairy and meat.
dairy and meat.
And meat.
Separate,
Right.
on different dishes.
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. The Book of Leviticus has a lot of that, most of it in there. You stay kosher, and you stay away from those things, and you stay away from those people.
Oh, Father,
Yeah. You keep yourself pure as a Jewish person, or choose another religion. It doesn't matter. You can talk about Republicans and Democrats if you want to. Just keep yourself pure. You do not talk with those people. Those people, whoever those people, the other. You keep yourself pure. And what's the vision saying? Boulder Dash. Yeah, there's something new going on here. And it may be new also for God. There's one thing that we haven't raised today is, does God also move? Here, here, here. Is God moving? Or has God, kind of kept this as his own little secret all this time? And now he's going to reveal it to everyone? Or is God actually moving?
I would think he would have to move.
It's a good question, isn't it? I have my own point of view, but
How do we learn to move? if we don't?
right. I mean, how do you?
Didn't he move in Genesis?
He sure did. He followed Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden. He literally moved with them and their story. He should have, I think, and some people say he should have stayed in the garden. Right? Why would God leave the garden when, you know what I mean? Gods hang out in perfect or full gardens. They don't tramp around with these idiots. You know what I mean? It's shocking that a God would do that. There's lots of that in the Bible too. It's like gods in my mind are like this, and the Bible says, well, great, I'm great that you think that way, but this God is like this. Hard to keep up with him. Her. It.
Well, if you're tolerant, you keep up.
Sorry?
That's how you learn to be tolerant.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking what's going on here. I mean, and Peter is saying, no, Lord. He's a good Jewish kid, right? No, Lord, I'm never going to do that. And this is a test of my Jewish fidelity. And that's what he's got on his arm. Not going to go there. I'm a good Jewish traditional believer. Not doing it.
But in the New Testament, Jesus said, it's not what goes into your mouth that profanes you, it's what comes out of your mouth.
He should have heard that because he was there when he said it. Yeah. But these things die hard, right? These things die hard. Our traditions, what we believe in, it's hard to change. I think it's really hard to change. Even for the better, it's hard to do it. So there he is. So there's his vision, like take, eat, right? And oh, by the way, this guy called Cornelius, who is your oppressor, by the way, right? The Romans are there, in the Middle East to, do business. You got to keep it quiet over there. And your oppressor Cornelius, you need to go talk with him. Again, enemies and hospitality, enemies, hospitality, and that's. Have you ever made a really good friend from an enemy?
Yes.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah. The Wackenaars would not see me in Amsterdam because they were communists. And I was an American. We won't see him. So I knew their son. We're not going to see him because he's a capitalist. Yeah, that happened to me. I was 25 when this was happening. I said, okay, I'd love to meet your folks, but and sure enough, they had us over for dinner. And we became really good friends over time. Really good friends.
And then you both families changed their minds.
Yeah, and talk about capitalism and communism, and they had a Russian Skoda, those cars, those little, those square little Russian cars, would belch out all this
What
black
were they
smoke.
doing in the net?
They were Dutch. Yeah, there are some communists in the Netherlands. So
There's something.
they smoked. It's fun. Yeah, they were terrific.
I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood, and in our building, just take that one building, there were 66 families. They were all Jewish except us.
Except you guys, yeah.
But we all respected, both sides respected each other.
Yeah.
And I learned so much, and
Yeah.
I think that's why I accepted everybody.
Yeah,
as a kid.
you had a good experience.
I did, it was wonderful. And I'm so glad we were all poor.
Yeah, that in common.
That wasn't so great, but I didn't know it was poor.
Well, when I was sent to the Netherlands, my professor who sent me there and raised the money for me to go there, he said, you're going to hate this church that I'm sending you to, but you're going to love the Netherlands. So I said, I'll just keep my nose clean, and, just get to know people and, just relax. I don't have to be involved in the political goings-on of the congregation. And so my then wife at the time, the two of us, we kept inviting people over for dinner, 2 couples usually. And routinely, without knowing it, we invited the couples that hated each other's guts. But we didn't know it, and they became friends. And so for years afterwards, I was a celebrity. I was the great healer.
See how wonderful.
So you have a concert. It was about the English Forum Church is about the size of this sanctuary. So we'd go to a concert, and if we were late, which we usually weren't, but if we were late, nothing happened until we got there. The doors would open, the congregation would stand, turn, and we would be walked to the front.
What years?
The whole thing was ridiculous because it was accidental. There was nothing planned about that at all, but they appreciated it.
What years were you?
85 and 86.
85.
But then I spent a couple other years, about a year and a half more, every summer. We'd go every summer for a month. We'd take it over. But it was ridiculous. But yeah, it reminds me of this story. And it can be accidental too. Just if you're open to people and
Absolutely.
Good things can happen.
Recently, I had lunch with a friend that I hadn't seen since I left the school system, which is 40 years. And we went out to lunch, and I started talking to this woman that I never saw before in my life. He says, why does everybody talk to you? I said, does everybody talk?
Well, you're open. Yeah.
Oh,
You're open.
yeah.
Well, here's an encouragement for all of us. If you come across somebody that you don't know at Morona's or wherever you go, be a little bit alert and maybe ask, well, how'd you get here? How'd you get here to Morona's? And you might get a story, right? It's kind of neat. You can do it here too. You don't have to travel. But anyway, thanks a lot.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Discussion.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, I enjoy you guys too, and I appreciate that you want to be part of it.
So interesting.
Okay.
Okay.